Greetings. Welcome to a new episode of Art Matters. I'm your host, Wayne Quackenbush. Today we have one special guest that we'll be interviewing, and there'll be a demo by Lynn Sevigny. Welcome to the show, Lynn.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks for braving the heat and,
it was rough.
And sun to make it here to the studio. I guess we can start at the beginning. I mean, you've been a professional artist for a number of years now. What inspired you to start your path?
I think it started in first grade. That's when I really thought about it. There was a kid I sat next to, Manny, and I used to draw on the desk. I did get in trouble for that, but he loved what I drew. He was the only one that could see it. And he would just be odd all the time, and I loved that. I liked making the kid happy because it was really fun. And he wanted me to teach him how to draw too, so I did. I tried to, but it didn't work. That's when I knew that this was a really fun thing, and not everybody could do it. Mm-hmm. So it humbled me a little bit, and I just kept drawing, and I drew on furniture, old furniture. I drew on paper. I drew all the time, and I got encouragement too from my parents, which
you said that your dad went to art school.
Mm-hmm. He was an architect and a builder.
And that, I mean, there must have been some form of art around your house all the time.
Well, it was architectural rendering, so he could build a house from his blueprints.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of other kind of art, just that, but that's art in itself. And I couldn't measure. And he wondered what was wrong, because he said, if you can draw that rendering, that house, to scale, why can't you do a blueprint? And I don't know. I said, I pretend there's little people in front of the door. Oh, so you use the
people for scale?
Yeah.
And so you didn't like the math of it, you just kind of liked the visual quality?
I liked the math of it, I just couldn't comprehend it. It was unfortunate, and it's still a bit of a problem today.
Okay. And you went on to get an education in the medical field, right?
I did.
And then you kind of went in a different direction.
I went all over. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I could draw. I didn't really know where to put it. This was the 70s, early.
Yep.
So I just went to California a few times to see, just to figure things out with my friends.
Days?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hitchhike?
No, well, I took the bus back from California once. That was very eye-opening, and I'm going to write about it someday.
Yeah, that's 3 days of
with the same dingo boots on.
Yep.
So, but when I came back, I said, no, I'm going to go to Rick. I went to Rick for nursing in Penn State. It was 4 years, but then locally something came up in Fall River at a great place, and it was a 2-year associate degree nursing, so that's what I did. Because I loved medical illustration, so I figured, well, let me get close.
Yeah.
And 2 years is good. It was a concentrated curriculum instead of a 4-year. So I did that, but then I started to freelance. In 1984 is when I made my first business card, and I got quite a few great jobs. And I waitressed at a great restaurant in Seekonk, Phoebe's, and I met a lot of people. My art was on the wall. I was still going to nursing school, but I got more and more great work, clients that needed my illustration. So I started getting
So how did you
called.
get yourself out there back in the day before there was an internet or anything like that?
Word of mouth.
Yeah?
Really good word of mouth.
People saw your work and then they made inquiries and then they found you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And can I mention a spot that really did it? Or
I mean, is it still in business?
Oh yeah. It was the bigger the restaurant, the better.
Yeah.
It was the lobster pot logo.
Oh yeah, sure, okay.
And that did it. And then they had friends in real estate, and they had friends in, clothing stores, and it just blossomed. It was really nice, and my prices were good.
Yeah.
Because if you, of course, underprice, then everybody's like, they don't take it too seriously.
Right.
So, and you have a standard for all the other artists that
Sure,
I tried to keep up, even though I had no background.
Now, as we continue talking, you want to show us some of your work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see. This was just I can do a little bit of whimsy. but I try to get all of my anatomicals correct.
You want to hold this up perpendicularly so that
right.
Myris can see it with his magic eye.
Yes, and so I love color. I don't paint as much as I illustrate. I use markers, colored pencils, and
what would that be mostly in colored pencil, marker, both?
Marker, a little bit of colored pencil for the shading.
What are you using for the outline for the most part?
Pencil.
Okay.
Yeah, if this is going to have a lot of blue in it, I use a light blue, and then I can just go in. Some things I can put a black outline to on purpose, but not.
Sure, yeah, you want to delineate things.
Yeah, and there's always that risk that things look too cartoony, and sometimes that's what you want.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line. That's funny. There's a fine line.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard to define what that line is sometimes. But obviously, whimsy, that's cartoony.
Yep. And you can use also black. This is pretty small. I don't know if I hold that up, if you're going to be able to see it.
This will be viewable.
This is a recent, my daughter suggested that I do the 4 tarot queens for Mother's Day this year, and I did. And
that corresponds to a regular playing card deck, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just took the basic of what the tarot looks like according to the Rider-Waite, and you can change it. People make tarot cards all the time.
Yeah, it's quite an exercise for artists to do that. It's almost like making your own alphabet.
Or your own Bible.
Yeah, could be like that.
And I made greeting cards from each.
Now, which queen? What queen is that?
This is the Queen of Swords.
Uh-huh.
And then, I made frames out of everything that, sorry, I can't tell where that is there.
That's okay.
I made a frame out of the element that the Queen is known for.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Queen of Pentacles. It's really a quite wonderful thing. I'd love to take a deep dive into it and study more.
Oh, the colors are beautiful.
Thank you. It's those markers.
I know a lot of people like to do the major cards.
Yeah.
But they get stuck with the cards in between.
The trump, the swords and the cups. This is what I am. I mean, supposedly every zodiac sign, of course, has their designated queen.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this was very good, and I'm selling them at a few places locally. And I also went into the kitchen, being Mother's Day, and they're queens. Love to do something for the kings next year. So I put the artwork on some really good towels, and I sell them along with the greeting cards. That's very nice. It just, it's a fun thing. There's 4 of them. I didn't bring all my utensils. One was plenty.
Yeah, this is a suggestion. Instead of a kitchen witch, you have a kitchen queens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You can, what was that saying? You can never have too many queens in the kitchen.
Good.
Cooks in the kitchen.
Or too many cooks spoil the broth.
Thank you. Thank you for being there. Yep. And
now
I don't know.
You have all sorts of stuff back there.
I'll stay with the cards just for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did do a lot of greeting cards. About, I don't know, 30 different designs in the past few years, because I did work for a company, one company 22 years, and before another company I designed for 5 years. So in about 2018, the company folded, so I didn't design there anymore. So I started doing what I always wanted to do, but the plan could have been a little bit more strategic. But I did do a lot of greeting cards. And I sold them locally, and I put them on my website. So they're always available, but everything is a limited edition, which sounds really nice because there's not a ton, and you don't.
Yeah, they go out of print, and there could be demand.
And I'm not Hallmark, so. And this is funny. I think I sent you that one for
Yes, you did. And I have a question about your time management, because as a freelance artist or as an artist, the more you work, the more income you can generate for yourself. So how do you plan your day around those guidelines?
It's a secret.
Okay, 'cause
No,
a lot of people are daunted, you know.
it depends on the season.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have to decide whether to cut the grass or put 4 hours in the morning on I use Photoshop a
Right.
lot.
Yeah.
So it's nighttime, 3 to 11. I like that shift to do
You like
my work.
you like the night?
Yeah, now that I can choose it. It was hard sitting in your cubicle, but you know, the job was wonderful.
Now, do you need
Sun out
do you
like
need
that.
to be alone to have the headspace to do what you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always have I watch some YouTubes, instructional or otherwise, and I have music on all the time. I always did since I was a kid.
But it just seems like, as always, a creative life is always ultimately, there's a lot of solitude.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there are theories that go way back that you know, you can't be in a relationship if you're going to be an artist, that kind of thing.
Huh. That's that's kind of true. You can pick and choose.
Yeah. But
But-
you really have to designate blocks of time, I think, don't you?
Yeah, and they have to understand. Like if you know, I remember that it was like, you know, I have to finish this. It does come before anything else, because if you go for a ride in the park on a Sunday,
And you're going to be thinking about what you should be doing.
Yes.
Yes.
and if you don't do it, then the afternoon becomes a drama.
Yes.
If you have to do it, just like an artist, I think, in my opinion, if they don't create, if they don't do what is up there for years, or they keep saying no, your life becomes
It's almost like you
a
get
mess.
stuck.
And frustrated.
And yeah, that's a better word for it. I'm getting word that they want you to talk about this.
All right. Can you see it, or should I pick it up and put it in front of me?
He can. No, you're good. I
Oh,
think
good.
he can.
This was a wonderful assignment I got. Being a
Maybe I'll bring it down.
okay, I can't. I'm not looking.
Okay, that's better.
This was a great assignment I got from the East Providence Recreation Department, the city of East Providence. Every 10, 15 years or so, they ask a local artist to draw, paint, illustrate the carousel in a different season. So they asked me to do winter. So I called that one Winter's Magic, and I drew it under 40 hours for them in a colored pencil and a little marker blend. It was just the best thing ever. It really made me.
You must really get lost in the space when you're applying color with color pencil.
Yeah, I was stuck behind that tree for a long time. I was very lost in it. It felt hypnotized.
Oh, I mean,
I was
your brain
hypnotized
is
almost.
literally right there. You're like rendering needles that are 300 yards away.
But you know, while you're doing that, sometimes you're thinking about, oh, I wonder how Aunt Bertha's doing.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll go to Baltimore next summer and see the da-da-da.
Sure.
You know, you think about everything. And that was that. And there's horses in there that are asleep supposedly, but I made some people think that they were actually, you know, just waiting for spring before the carousel would open again.
Absolutely.
And I drew names in there, but I never told anybody where they were. They're too tiny, or what they say.
Secret.
Yep.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to reconfigure, and you're going to show us some, you have some, you're going to work some art magic in a way. Because a lot of people will think of what you do as magical. And you're going to take a prompt from one of our technicians, and you're going to do some drawing.
Yes, I'm going to do something that I call pentertainment. I can draw with both hands at the same time, upside down or right side up, the paper,
Yep.
not me. And under a minute is good.
Yep.
Or
And
so.
we'll stop there and come back in a second. Okay, so Lynn, we're going to work your magic. You're going to, how would you describe it? Draw with both hands at the same time? Mm-hmm. And we discussed a prompt. We're going to do a chef holding a lobster.
Yep.
And then you're going to work your magic. And you're going to do it upside down.
at the same time.
Right.
With the purple and the black, just so but just so you can differentiate the left and the right.
For your symmetry.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, he's going to have to be holding 2 lobsters
Okay.
because of the symmetry problem. So you're going to get a twin lobster dinner.
Oh,
here.
nice. Okay.
Yep.
And you can.
So
Can't wait till you get to the lobster part of it.
we'll start from the top. And usually, I always tell people, it's like, nope, I have to do it within 30 seconds because I have to do it
you
fast.
definitely have time, so take whatever time you need. Now we have what we talked about is that most people have a hand that they prefer to draw with, and I've always been a big fan of doing exercises and having people draw with a hand that they're not comfortable with drawing with, because I find that that's mentally freeing.
It's interesting. Whew,
Because you can actually feel like it's almost like you could feel compartments opening up in your brain when you try drawing with the wrong hand.
I have felt a kind of very small amount of elation doing these things. Not right now, but sometimes when you're just practicing on your own or on a cocktail napkin. Usually, I'm running off the side there.
Now you said you have ever done this as a public performance, and that you enjoy having an audience. They must be quite wowed.
It was really fun. I did it a couple of times at the Providence Art Club for a party. I was the entertainment before dinner. I stood near the piano with Mark Tabor and I definitely had a great time. People came up to me and they said, "Oh yeah, you can do this. Let's see. Why don't you do a waitress?" And I did the waitress. Oh, more legs, but I'm running off. And it has to be within 30 seconds, and if it isn't, they would get a free drink out of my
Stipend,
pay.
your
Yes, my
stipend.
stipend at the end of the night.
Sure.
And that's his name tag and a handkerchief. As long as you draw at the same time.
Now, are you going to write his name?
Yes, I'm going to do it up here. I can't write it there. His name is Kenneth. And he's the head chef, and he only is in charge of the lobsters.
Oh, that's that's interesting. Let me see if I can hold this up a little bit.
And I think a lot of people can do it more than they know because they just don't.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
So what you're going to do is the same thing on this side, right?
Yes, but right side up to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? His waitress, or I don't want to put an idea in. You tell me, that way it's spontaneous for me.
Okay. Can you draw somebody on a bicycle, maybe?
Coming at you?
Yeah.
I think so.
That has symmetry to it. Just one leg is going to be higher than the other, maybe.
Yeah, that'll throw me off a little
Okay,
bit. I might.
all right.
It could work.
Well, you can attempt it, or I mean, if you want to do a waitress with
Cocktails.
tray full of cocktails
A lot of cold cocktails, like margaritas with ice in them. That would be good.
on a day like this.
I
It
will-
would be most welcome.
I will manifest.
Manifest. I know we were talking about tarot and astrology and
Yeah, woo, we're getting off, but I'm going to put her hair up because it is a hot day.
yep.
Oops, sorry. It's just I might be thinking of Bullwinkle and what's her
Oh,
name?
Natasha, right?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know why. Then you can go into high fashion if you want. I'll give her my markers are going a little dry, but I have backup. But it's really fun to use different markers. Sometimes I've thrown, what I start off with down and
Picked up different ones.
yeah, yep. Now her tray is going to run into the lobster, but I'm going to just draw fast and ignore it.
Sure, and then that's your fishbowl-sized,
And 2 shots of the Osaka,
right,
or whatever, Oaxaca.
okay,
That's it.
very good.
Wait, bracelet. Okay, and her name is?
Go with Natasha.
I'll write this time because I can write. And I think I could have been meant to be a lefty back, left-handed
Do you have
writer.
any impressions of being guided into right-handedness?
Maybe, I don't know. Our desk were all, everybody always says that, our desks were always on the right-hand side, you know, and I don't know, maybe my grandmother. It didn't really make that big of a difference, though. Wow, she looks hot. It's a warm day in the cafe.
Yeah.
And that's good. I think that's good. I can do another one, but
No, I mean, we have time to talk, or we have time to do more drawing.
depends on what you talk about. Maybe I'll feel like drawing one more time, like an animal or
Okay, yeah, let's talk about an animal. We have enough paper.
Yes.
You want to switch markers?
Yes. I got blue and green and red.
If you could do, if they're green and red would give you like that, or green and blue, or red and blue would give you that 3D effect, right?
Oh yeah, I could radar, you mean? Or
No, I mean, when they used to make 3D movies, they would do a red shift and a blue shift, and you would have different lenses for your eyes
oh yeah.
to
Oh, I haven't
make
thought
the
about that in a while.
dimensional, and that might be a nice effect.
What's your favorite movie? I could maybe draw a scene.
Oh, you don't want to draw anything from
Hey.
any.
Well,
We could do Old Yeller and Better Days as a. I mean, we could do a
dog?
puppy or a bunny.
all right, and I'll show you what happens if I have to only do, that's not bad grammar. I have to be symmetrical when I do this.
No, of course.
But somebody asked me, they challenged me big time, boys. Some kid at a fair, he was so funny. Oops. He asked me to draw a camel walking, and it was really difficult, but I'll show you what happens when
When you're not symmetrical,
yeah, it feels like
like I suggested a bicycle, but then one leg would be up and one leg would be down.
and you can do that, but it feels like something pops back there, and we don't want that to happen. I don't know what it is. but
No.
there, and you have
Yeah,
to.
your closed circuit.
I want to make it here, and again, it just doesn't work as well. You have to stop. Very interesting. But so that works.
But you could almost do like a camera, except at the end of the tail end. So you tail and then,
But I do.
and then you have the hump, one or two in the middle, and then the legs would be symmetrical with the body.
But I couldn't draw his head at the same time as his tail.
Maybe you could work from the middle out.
I don't know. But I can do this. This is good.
Or you could do the, the goblet trick where you have two goblets and then it forms a portrait in the middle. It's almost like
Oh, that's
this.
nice. Yeah, what do you call that? Not Kleinfeld. What do you call that? Gestalt.
Rorschach.
Yeah, that's better. I don't know.
Oh, is that two people kissing?
Oops. Yeah. And they're also toasting. I'm full of drinks today because I think we're all
Oh,
thirsty.
because you came in and you were dehydrated.
A little bit.
Yep.
It's all right. It's summer. Won't last forever, and they need a lemon. There, yeah. See, so whoop, I was going to turn and show you.
No, I can see it.
I forget. You can do two things similar at the same time. You can make two people separate, but you can only make one half of a person this way. That was
Right.
very clear.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Want me to try the bicycle?
you can
No.
try it. We're running out of paper again.
I could use brown.
Okay, brown is
The
fine.
parcel is a nice color.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try it only because you asked. I could try it upside down. So,
Start at the wheel. Start at the head?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was already programmed. I couldn't
Okay.
go backwards. Sorry.
So I'm assuming that's a hair streaming
Yep,
behind the person.
yep.
Well, you could turn that person into a mermaid.
I
How about
could.
that? And then you could even make the tail shift from one side to the other.
Oh, I think,
That'd be more fun than a bicycle, right?
well, I don't want to cop out on your idea because
No, I like the mermaid better because
with glasses.
you got that hippie vibe going with the two different colors and the round glasses. You remember Peter Max or somebody like that?
Yeah, or Mr. Lippet. When you said mermaid, all of a sudden.
Oh, you remember the Incredible Mr. Limpet?
Yeah. Oh, Lippet. That's Limpet.
Yeah, that's back when Don Knotts was a movie star.
That was really good. And the music. Uh-oh.
That's okay. The shell got a little small.
Oh, yeah, but look what happened. Oops.
Yep, that's very cool. Take some time and do those scales. The incredible. Well, and then of course we had the Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
I barely remember that. I think I changed the channel.
Oh, I vividly remember seeing the Mr. Limpet in the movie theater, and I was blown away as a very small child. Like, how did that man turn into a fish?
She's got to be doing something. Or no, she can just be swimming.
Yeah, but you can augment. Does she have fingers or does she have flippers?
She has fingers. they're webbed. Did I give her too many? Well, she
Oh, that
needs
looks
them.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make the webbing, and then.
That was fun because everybody needs earrings. I would like to color
You're
it
able
too.
to maintain the symmetry of it, but also make it asymmetrical at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think there. I'm liberated. That's
I
great.
swear you can always learn something when you draw. That's always been my mainstay. It's just like every time you attempt something,
Yep.
it's always something to be gained from it.
There's always, you're right. Everything, I was thinking that, and I was going to write it down months ago, but I never did. You always try something new, whatever you're doing, and if it doesn't work, then you don't do it,
Yeah.
or you undo it.
All right. Well, I think we reached the end of our time. Lynn, thank you so much for coming out on this day and spending time with us, and this has been pretty fabulous.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Worth every temperature rise.
Yep.
Thank you, Wayne. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
A little warm I am.
And thank you, everybody, for showing up for a new episode of Art Matters, and join us next time. And if you know any artists who would like to come on the show, just give me a shout. Talk to you soon.